What's up everybody, this is Yair and today we are going to draw Izuku Midoriya. Okay, so today we are going to draw Deku in his new form. If you'll check the description box, you can see all the materials I'm using for this tutorial with Amazon product links. As you can see, I drew a perfect square. Each side is 5 centimeters, but you can draw it in any size you want to. Just make sure to use a suitable paper size. So this is gonna be a frontal pose. We are going to start by drawing the shape of his face. Then I'm gonna draw some guidelines to help me keep the right proportions of the eyes. And now we'll start by drawing his left eye. So I'm gonna draw the eyebrow first, just by drawing 2 lines. Then we'll draw the shape of his eye. Add some wrinkles. And then we'll draw his iris and the pupil at the center. Just like that. And we'll do the same process for his right eye. Awesome, next we'll draw his freckles. We'll draw 4 on each side. As you can see, it's in the shape of a rhombus. Next we'll draw his nose by simply drawing some lines. And then I'm gonna cross the bottom rectangle and we'll draw his angry mouth. As you can see, I'm adding some wrinkles on the sides and drawing his teeth. Next step will be drawing the ears, and again, as you can see, I'm using the square to keep the right proportions. And now we can draw his hairline. So I'm starting from the sideburns. As you can see, I'm doing it by simply drawing 2 lines for each spike. The next step will be using this guideline to help us keep the right proportions for the rest of the hair. And now we can simply add the rest of the spikes. Try drawing them pointing to a different direction. Just spread them all around. Awesome, so now we are done with the face and we can focus on the torso. We are going to start by drawing his mask. So first I want to draw the shape of the mask and then I'll add all the details. Now that I got the overall shape, I can add some details, 3 lines on each side. Next step will be adding the holes to the metal part. As you can see, I'm creating depth simply by drawing a curve inside the circle. Awesome, now I'm gonna add some tears. And then I'm gonna use this guideline to help me draw the torso. Next, we'll draw the fabric he used to tie the girl. And then his shoulder right there. We're gonna add some tears to the fabric. And now we'll focus on his left side. So we'll add his pad to the suit. Then draw his left shoulder. And now we can add the creases and the details. And I'm just gonna fix his right shoulder. And we'll make his hair a bit longer. Awesome, so now we are done with the sketching part and we can move on to the inking process. So for that I'm gonna use a black pen. The nib size I'm going to use is 0.2, however you can use 0.1 as well. What I'm gonna do is basically hold the pen with a firm grip right on the edge, and I'm just gonna go all over the lines, and if you want I'll recommend to rotate the page so you can go with your natural hand movement. You can do it by pushing lines or by pulling lines. Awesome, so now that we are done with the inking process, I'm gonna take the notorious charcoal eraser and get rid of all the lead. Make sure to clean the paper very well because you don't want to smear the lead once we use the Copic markers. Awesome, so now that it's clean we can use the Copic markers. However, if you don't have Copic markers you can use color pencils or just use your HB and B pencils and do some shading. For this tutorial we'll use Copic markers, and if you'll check your top left of the screen you can see the exact number of Copic I'll be using. We're going to start with the red fabric. I'm gonna use 3 tones of red for that. We'll start with the brightest one, coloring all the brightest areas, the highlighted areas. Then I'm gonna use the mid-tone, that's a slightly darker tone, and we'll color all the blank areas. Now I'm gonna use the darkest tone, that's a very dark red. Awesome, so the next step is blending. So I'm gonna take the mid-tone and I'm gonna blend the mid-tone with the darkest tone. Then I'm gonna take the brightest tone and I'll blend it with the mid-tone. Awesome, and this is the result we want to get. So I'm gonna do the same process for his suit. I'll start with some blue-green, and as you can see I'm coloring in the direction of the shape. Then I'll use a darker tone. Then I'm gonna use a gray tone, coloring the stripe on his suit. And then I'm gonna use an even darker gray to add some shade. And the next step, just like before, will be blending. And it seems I forgot to draw his other pad, so we'll just add it right there. Awesome, and now we can continue. So I'm gonna do the same process for the rest of the suit, starting with the brightest color, coloring in the direction of the shape, then using a darker tone for the shaded areas. After that, I'm gonna use C5 dark gray to add shade. And then I'm gonna use an even darker gray, C7, and we'll blend all the colors. Awesome, next step will be coloring the pads. I'm gonna start with E50, pushing and pulling lines from side to side. Then I'm gonna use a pearl white color. And now I'll use a warm gray to add some shade. And just like before, we're going to blend the colors. Awesome, we're going to do the same for his right pad. And now we can color the mask. We'll use two colors for that, the same gray tones we used before. We'll blend the colors, of course, by using the brighter tone of them. And to create more contrast, I'm gonna use the darker tone again with another layer. Awesome, next we can color the metal part of the mask. We're going to use some neutral grays for that, starting with the brighter one, just filling this entire area. Then I'm gonna add some shade with a darker tone. After that, we'll use an even darker tone for the most shaded areas. We're going to do some blending. And we'll add more layers if necessary. Awesome, so now we can focus on the face. So for the skin tones, I'm gonna use 4 tones. We'll start with the brightest one, which will be E50, that's a eggshell color. As you can see, I'm leaving some blank areas on his cheeks because they stick out more, which means they get more light, and on the bumps above his eyes, of course. Next, I'm gonna use a silk color to add some shade, a very soft shade. And then we'll use a peach color. Next, we'll use some beige, that's E11, that's gonna be our darkest tone, and we'll add it to the nose, below the eyes, and on the center of the forehead. And you guessed it right, the next step will be blending. And to blend the blank areas, I'm gonna use the colorless blender just to make the transitions softer. And then I'm gonna add one more layer with E11. Awesome, and I want to show you the difference real quick between blending and non-blending. So choose what you like best. Next, we're going to add some shade right below the eyebrow. We'll add some shade for the teeth. And we'll use C7. Next step will be coloring the eyes with some blues. So those are gonna be the same colors we'll use for the hair. I'm gonna start with B00. Then I'll use a darker tone B02. And of course I'm gonna blend the colors together. As you can see, the pupils remain white. Now that we are done with the eyes, we can focus on the hair. So, like I said, I'm gonna use B00 again. As you can see, I'm coloring in the direction of the hair and I'm leaving some blank spots. Those will be our highlighted areas. Next, we'll use the same color we used for the suit, that's BG09, that's a blue-green. We are going to blend the colors by using another tone, that's BG01, that's an aqua blue. And then we use B00 to blend the colors again. I'm gonna add one more color to the mix, that's BG07. And to create more contrast, I'm gonna use BG09 again, just adding more layers. So as you can see, it's a matter of adding layers, blend them, adding more layers, until you are satisfied with how it looks. Awesome, and to finish up, I'm just gonna add one more layer to the eyes using B02 and blend it with B00. And we are 100% done! Everybody. This is how you draw Deku from My Hero Academia. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know how you did in the comment section. Make sure to smash that like button to support my work, and subscribe if you're new. I upload new drawing tutorials every weekend. That's it, keep being awesome as always, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.